never know. Just in case you never know. Love you, girl, do you feel the same? I don't wanna play games. No games. You're the only one that can hold.
Yeah, welcome everyone to another action-packed episode of the East Coast MMA Show live right here on Nightline Radio. Because if it ain't on Nightline,
it's a flat line.
It's just a damn bottom line. Listen, got an action-packed show, lots to talk about, lots going on. We have, later on this evening, House of Payne is going to be in the house, pro wrestlers. We have the East Coast MMA Show mascot. We got the Jewish Joker.
Hi, shalom.
The one and only.
Listen, what would a show be without my co-pilot? Jabs, Jabari Fields is in the house.
Yes, glad to be here. Beautiful out.
Absolutely.
Beautiful outside.
And the man, the myth, the legend, the chief operating engineer of Nightline Radio, Mr. Bat Silva, is in the house. Right here on the East Coast MMA Show, where we're live every Tuesday from 6 to 8 o'clock.
Every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday. This is where you should be. We're going to talk pro wrestling today. We're going to talk about the past UFC card. We're going to talk about Aggressive Combat Championship 11 that's taking place this upcoming Saturday. We're also going to talk about Grappler's Quest that's taking place on June 6th. Lots going on, but you're going to hear every and anything right here on the East Coast MMA Show. Welcome, everybody, for being here. Welcome being back into the studio, Mr. Joker.
Hi, shalom aleichem, or aleichem shalom to everyone. I want to include everyone.
You know what? I want to jump in because, you know, especially for me, it's an exciting time. It's the week before our big event at Queen's Theater.
Huge.
And typically right about now, you know, Tuesday evening is that breaking point where most fighters, they break camp. Now it's just more like cardio and, you know, managing the weight. So anybody injury-wise, if it was going to happen, has happened if they're from a good camp.
Right. Because
usually coaches don't let them go full bore, you know, at least 2 to 3 days before the actual the fight night. So you know, we have an awesome action-packed card. You know, I actually have a list, and I'm actually going to go through the list because, I mean, just the fight card itself is insane. The fights that we have, we're starting off with some K1 matches.
Nice.
You know, right off the bat, you know, we're starting the night with Andrew Atameo from East Coast MMA, and he's taking on Kim Sweetson from Team Demolition, and that's a K1 matchup. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. We have the ladies.
Oh, yeah.
Dawn Solomon from Journey is taking on Andrea Danila from East Coast United, BJJ. We know Jabs knows.
Yeah, she's a little beast, man. I call her a little mini Uriah Faber because she's always bouncing around. It's gonna be a good fight.
Absolutely.
Good fight.
And then we have George Saleka from East Coast MMA, who's taking on Jeffrey Carrion from Kai Next Level Mixed Martial Arts. It's a K1 battle. And then we have Justin Yodice from Strong Island, who is taking on Richard Valerio. I believe that's how you say his last name. And he's also from Kai Next Level Mixed Martial Arts. That's a combat jiu-jitsu match, which is sort of like modified MMA.
Right.
Should be a really exciting match. And then we have what I feel is the K1 match of the evening. We have Neil Gonzalez, who's one of the coaches at East Coast MMA, and he's taken on William Speed Kills Cavalli from Team Demolition. That should just be a fireworks match and a half. Really looking forward to that. And then we jump right into MMA. We got Mike Roselli, you know what? Aggressive Combat Championship veteran.
Nice.
And he will be taking on Jose Hernandez from Team Mizuko right here in a Boogie Down Bronx.
Mizuko MMA.
Yeah, man. And then we have We have Shaquan Moore from East West MMA out on Long Island. He was on a show.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, and you know what? He's taking on Anthony Newton from Team Jungle Gym. That should be a 145-pound, monster match. Yeah, absolutely. And then we got Jamal Pottinger from Team Red. Jamal is from Brooklyn. He's taking on Omale Powison from in MMA. I believe he's from Striking 101.
Okay, yeah.
So that should be a real dandy match too. Then we have Brian Roth from Team Jungle Gym,
yes.
And he's going to be taking on, and I can't believe I'm going to say it because I break this kid's chops nonstop. Kenny Vasquez, they call him Sabretooth from Team Demolition. He always says, "Oh, I fight. Oh, that's what I do. We fight." And I always say, "Kenny, man, you never fought for us yet. What do you mean you fight?" And here it is. Brian Roth's opponent pulls out with 2 weeks to go. Week and a half, Kenny Vasquez says, "Yo, that's what Team Demolition does. We fight." And Kenny Vasquez takes the fight on. So
and they bring it too. Team Demolition, they come to fight. They really do.
I'm excited about that one. And then we have Team Tiger Showman standout Matt, the Alpha Roman. He's he's taking on Devin Estrada from another one from Team Mizuko, Boogie Down Bronx, baby.
See if we represent. We be down.
And then we have people that are going to be heading from Connecticut. We have Chase DuPont from Soulcraft. Soulcraft is up in Connecticut. That's a Marcio Strembowski jiu-jitsu gym. Anybody who knows Marcio is a coral belt in jiu-jitsu. Right. So the jitsu is going to be on point there. And he's taken on Marcus Chin from Team Apprentice, Gio Alvarez's school. Nice. And he's a crafty fighter too, so that's a really good one. And then we have from up north, we have Christian Wasweller, better yet known, they call him Cubby, from Evolution Grappling Academy. I know Mike Palladino, his coach, only too well, former training partner of mine. I know the jits is going to be on point. He's one of Formiga's top students. And anybody who knows anything about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, if you don't know who Rafael Formiga Barbosa is, then just don't watch Jiu-Jitsu anymore. And he's taken on David Cascone from Team Evolution.
Okay.
It's a fellow Brooklynite there, Mr. Joker.
Okay. Well, we got a lot of great fighters from Brooklyn, right?
Absolutely. And then we get to the co-main event.
Yes.
The 125-pound title fight from Empire MMA. Pedro Villa, okay, is taken on from Team East Coast United BJJ, Christian Medina.
Yeah, it's gonna be really good, And it's funny because I'm looking at Christian's Facebook post. He's training, eating right, eating right. He's really focused for this fight, and I'm sure Pedro is too because he comes from a really really good camp.
That's really going to be an exciting fight. Yeah. It's going to be two guys very scrappy. They move around. Good technique. I'm looking forward to that one. And then, the main event. You got the android, Jerome Bourne. The Aggressive Combat Championships 155-pound champion who's taking on the New York State USMTA 155-pound champion, James Speedy Gonzalez from Serra BJJ. I'm going to tell you right now, the card is so darn close to being sold out. I would say this, there are going to be some tickets available. I would get online to buy your tickets online, but if you're going to wait to buy it at the door of the event, my very, very strong suggestion is the doors open 6 o'clock to the public. Get there for 6 o'clock because my gut feeling is by 6:20, 6:30, there's not going to be any tickets left. So very intimate venue, very nice venue. Really looking forward to it. Obviously, I just named the fights. They're insane fights.
Yeah, really exciting.
That are taking place. So we're excited about it. And let's. I want to talk a little bit about this past weekend.
Big UFC.
Big UFC. Prior, the last UFC fight card, people were really, really disappointed.
Yeah. The Frankie Edgar and Faber in China.
You know what? Frankie Edgar, that was a good fight. I wasn't happy with the outcome. Frankie Edgar is the man. I mean,
yeah.
But the total outcome of the card itself, Frankie can carry, but I think the days of one fight carrying a whole card is just it's done.
Yeah. And that's another thing. When they have the cards in a different country, they try to make sure they have most of the fighters from that country. So a lot of fighters, like, it's our first time seeing, unless we're watching, Ultimate Fighter Tough China or something. Then
exactly.
We'd realize who everybody is. But I mean, Frankie, that should have been a card in Vegas or something.
That should have been a card in Jersey.
Yes, yes, definitely.
But you know what? Then we have the next UFC fight card, and you almost have to take a step back, and you almost have to ask yourself, that card was supposed to look one way, and in the sight of 1 month, it completely got changed around. John Jones was supposed to fight Johnson. John Jones, who I will say the outcome of the fight this past weekend proved to me one thing. There's only one person that can beat John Jones,
yeah.
and that's himself. Because Cormier had his way with wrestling with Johnson. Johnson tagged him one good time.
One real good time.
But after that, Cormier just had his way with wrestling. And that's just something that he was not able to achieve with John Jones at all. If anything, John Jones had his way with the takedowns.
Yeah, Cormier got to take him down with one big slam, but it was once, only one time when John Jones was really, really tired late in the fight. And another thing, DC didn't have Cain Velasquez to help push him for the John Jones fight, but he had Cain Velasquez this time. So I mean, you get to see a more aggressive DC. I mean, we all know Cain Velasquez is a beast, and almost indestructible. But John Jones against DC rematch, I don't know. I think John Jones will still take it, but we might see a more aggressive DC.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly. Chris Weidman, did exactly what I thought. You know what? Vitor Belfort, whatever it was. It's not anymore.
Not anymore.
There are two other middleweights that deserve to be mentioned, and that's Jacare Souza, and without a doubt Rockhold.
Oh yeah, I think he should get the shot next. Actually, Luke, I honestly, I mean, I've seen hungry fighters, but I feel like ever since Luke has came into the UFC, he had his mind on that gold, and I'm like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? But when you see him fight, it's like, wow, okay.
And I think that whether it's Luke or whether it's Jacare who get the shot at Weidman, I think the very next fight, that other opponent should get the opportunity. Yeah. So from a matchmaking standpoint, you're able to put some multiple fights together, which I think is great. And then the other fight that sort of threw me off a little bit was Uriah Hall against Sapo. Sapo came out in the first round, in the very first blow, he lands.
It's a groin shot, right?
I mean, that was a straight-on, dead, rear leg front kick right to the gonads. I'm stifled that a point wasn't taken away.
Yeah.
I don't even know how you give a warning on that one. That was just a flat-out rear leg front kick.
Wait.
Like, excuse me, let me see on how tender your testicles are. And he actually said, Sapo actually said that he stopped throwing his kick because he hurt his foot. What the hell? Of course he hurt his foot. He freaking kicked him square in the cup. Of course, man. That shit's tender.
Yep. Especially right on the instep. That's a tender area of foot, man.
Absolutely. I did have Sapo winning the first round.
Right.
I clearly had Uriah Hall winning the second round. And then I actually had Uriah winning the third round. And even somebody who's a tremendous Sapo fan, not tremendous Sapo fan, but a fan of Sapo, said, hey, I actually think Uriah won the third as well. So in my eyes, I had Uriah 29-28. He sort of got a little shafted in that fight, I think.
Right.
Who knows what that's all about. But,
there was some talks of bad blood before the fight or something like that. So, maybe that's what triggered his, low blow in the first round. You hate to see that in the sport.
Well, I can share some of that bad blood if you'd like.
Oh yeah, I mean, hey.
You're right. There's no lie here. Uriah was a very large part of Team Tiger Showman. He was a sensei there. He taught there for X number of years. Tiger Showman has their way of doing things, and right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm certainly not here to say who's right or who's wrong. It's not my place. Tiger Showman has a vast amount of success in what they do.
Right.
But Uriah felt it was time to cross-train, get out there, get a different feel, get a different flavor, and that's what he did. And at that point, it was time for him to move on from Team Tiger Showman. And at that point, he was going to Striking 101. He was stopping at different camps, getting some work in. And it just so happens Henzo Gracie Brooklyn was one of the gyms that he went and got some cross-training. Henzo likes Uriah.
Yeah.
Sapo is the head jiu-jitsu coach out of Brooklyn, Henzo. And Sapo went back to Henzo and said, look, I may fight this guy in my weight class. Is this guy on our team or is he not on our team?
Right.
Uriah doesn't want to make that commitment like he did once before and feel like he's pigeonholed with one camp to do one thing. And Henzo asked him, he says, just let him train from here to here. And he was like, my preference would be if he's not Team Henzo, that he's not training in a gym. So, obviously Uriah heard that. Uriah was a little taken back by that. And, I think there's merit on both sides. But, Uriah definitely felt a little scorned from there. So, there was definitely some bad blood there, and that was the bad blood. And while they lined up, Uriah made sure that he let him know that I didn't forget what you did.
Right.
And Sapo decided to say something negative back, and Uriah didn't like it, so he gave him a shove. Uriah's been on the show here before. He's a good kid.
Yeah, real nice
listen,
guy.
I'm 43 years old. I could call Uriah a kid, but he's a good kid. I think that unfortunate for him. I think he took a loss when I had a win, and a lot of people that I know in the industry looked at it like a 29-28. But you never leave it in the hands of the judge,
Right.
because everybody sees a fight differently.
Yeah.
I saw the Joker, like he pulled out every.
I know. I put it away. It didn't look too. I can show it later if you want to see it.
No, I mean, I think.
Did you see Batman? That's Batman. And
yeah,
the post.
No, I believe we saw all of those like twice.
Maybe I didn't show you me, page 9 in the New York Post at City Hall.
Yeah.
And of course, most importantly, this, right? MMA is related to MMA.
Absolutely.
All right, now you saw him. I'll put him away.
All right, thank you.
It's torn. It kind of looks unprofessional here.
Now, here's one thing is, Joker comes in, he loves MMA, he loves combat sports.
Absolutely.
And one of the things that I said right off the bat, and I think you even agreed with me, Jabs, was like, man, he would be perfect for wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
And
I even thought that because of wrestling, even the wrestler, especially like in Mexico, I heard that it's like a major thing that they use makeup. I mean, wrestlers.
What do you want to be a luchador?
Yeah. Well,
you want to be Nacho?
I'm a Wasan or payasitos down here and a payasos up here. I'm learning Spanish, being a clown,
Hey, we can call you the Jewish Hispanic Joker.
Yeah, I used to be called Diablos. When I used to dress up like a devil. But.
Now, today, obviously, this is your third time in.
Right.
You always have a different getup.
Oh yeah.
Today you are. Wow, you're like the cheetah, man.
Yeah, some jungle fever today.
Yeah, this is embarrassing actually. I wanted to actually, because there's gonna be wrestlers here. I'm a very blunt man. My plan was to dress up like Sting. And I don't quite have the body yet, although I'm working out like a madman. But the makeup, and I found pictures of him, but this stays on. This gold makeup, I could go to sleep in it, wake up in it, and I just like touch it up a drop.
I don't doubt you.
Yeah, and as you know, I got here a little late anyway.
No.
Just a little bit. Anyway, So I still got a lazy streak in me. So all I did, because I was rushing around, was I kept the makeup and I just put a little purple there. And because I can sometimes use like 10 colors, but it takes a lot of work. Because I like to be.
How long does it generally take you?
There have been times I'm worse than a woman and a drag queen combined when it comes to makeup. I swear, I've spent like hours getting them because I can be like really like crazy. It's got a certain look, and sometimes I can throw it on a few minutes. But today I had to be here and everything. But like on a day where there's not a clock, there's been many days I've spent hours literally getting a certain look.
Now, we have wrestlers in the house. We're going to bring them in just a few minutes. I know we started off the show, we started talking about Aggressive Combat Championship 11. I still want people to know, if you want to buy tickets, the best way to guarantee yourself tickets is that you need to go to www.aggressivecombatsportsmma.com. There are tickets available. The best way to ensure that you are going to watch an action-packed match, and I also might say it is a theater. There is no standing. Nobody stands. Everybody gets a comfy plush seat that they get to enjoy the fights. It's on a stage, so everything is center stage. You don't have to worry about people getting up, walking in front of you, and everything else. Fantastic environment, fantastic fights. New York's premier promotion. I highly recommend that if you want to see tomorrow's superstars today, you should really get on Aggressive Combat Championship Sports, Aggressive Combat Sports MMA.com and buy a ticket. Come listen, and if you somehow can't make it, if you're out of state or something, right here, one of our biggest sponsors, Nightline Radio, will be in the house. They will be covering the event live. So this Saturday from 7 o'clock to probably 9:30, 10 o'clock, go to nightlineradio.com and you are going to watch Aggressive Combat Championship 11 for, what's that? Free.
99.
So,
Yeah, I know that's right.
Listen, there's nothing like watching the real thing. But,
especially when it's free, like people want free pictures.
It's nothing like watching a real thing up and close and personal. But if for some reason you can't get there, some reason you're stuck at work or what have you.
Take care of the kids.
No. I realize that it's not the same thing as being there. There's no contest, but if they can't be there, free is good.
It's a home run. And on top of that, both Eugene and I will be tag teaming the commentation of the entire event. But the man who will be there 100%, Mr. Jabari Fields.
I'm gonna be there. I can't wait. I'm just picturing everything: the stage, the crowd going crazy, all the action happening right in front of me. And it's gonna be awesome, man. I'm really excited about this card. I'm really excited about this
stoked.
Card.
Yeah, baby.
You know what? I would say this. I'm excited because my week really starts. Friday night, the weigh-ins happen. Eugene and Phoenix, they go down. The weigh-ins happen. Saturday, the event happens. And then the following Thursday, good friend of mine, Jarrell Big Baby Miller, is the main event at the Paramount in Brooklyn. So got to go down and support Big Baby. And then, Friday night, you got Glory
Carlos Brooks.
and got Carlos Brooks, who's going to be going downtown. And then the very next day is my niece Brooklyn's christening. So I'll be doing that, and that's on the 7th. But on the 6th, maybe not everybody doesn't understand this or realize this, but both Eugene and I are directors for Grappler's Quest, which is probably the largest, if not one of the most famous grappling leagues in the world. True pioneer in the business, Brian Simmons. We have a pro division that's going on. It's like 8 different pro brackets, $1,000, pay-per-view. Team Avengers is coming up from Florida, so you'll have your Cyborg camp. You're gonna have Gary Tonin, Gary Lee Tone, and you're gonna have so many. Really, if you're,
It's pretty much going to be a who's who of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
I mean, it's going to be very, very exciting,
Yeah.
and I'm stoked about that. And for those of you who don't know, Eugene Perez and I are directors of Grappler's Quest. And, you know, if you go to Grappler's Quest right now, because registration is still open, they're going to be closing registration, quite like some of the other organizations. They'll open up the brackets, then they'll close the brackets so that even before you get started that day, you'll know exactly, roughly within like 15, 20 minutes, what time your bracket's going to start, where you're going to be competing, which I think for a lot of people is really important.
Yeah, of course.
Now, know this, that if you go to Grappler's Quest right now and you go in and you punch in the code aggressive inside it, you're going to get a 10% discount. So let's say it's $130 and you go in and you have a promotion code, aggressive. You're going to immediately save $13. So listen, I highly urge you, go in there, put aggressive in, save yourself 10%.
Yeah, baby.
I also know the man, the myth, and the legend, Mr. Brian Simmons, will be calling into the show later on this evening, and he's actually going to give away he's going to give away a registration.
Nice.
So he said it's up to the radio station on who we want to give that registration.
Could jokers apply or?
Why you want to go wrestle? I'll tell you what.
I didn't know.
I'll give it to you if you pop yourself like the makeup and you get in a singlet and you go out there. It's all you. The registration's on you. That'll be classic in itself, right there.
I don't think I actually want to wrestle. I just want to be a mascot of wrestling.
So, listen, I highly urge you, go in and, go to Grappler's Quest. If you're into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and grappling and stuff like that, go to grapplersquest.com, register. It's still open. It will close, but before it does, put the promo code aggressive in, save 10%. It's huge. Above and beyond that, what I'm going to do right now is we're actually going to go. I'm going to bring a member. I think we only have one member right now of House of Payne. These guys are local guys from New York City. They do local pro wrestling events. They're good friends of Bats, and and I told these guys, I said, you know what? I think like a match made in heaven would be using a Jewish Joker, man. I mean, listen, Paul Bearer. I mean, it had all the guys.
Cool little sidekicks.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys.
I should have come looking like a cross between Sting and the Joker. Oh well.
It's all good. Right now, you look like.
What do I look like now?
I have no clue.
Maybe I'm inventing a new character. I don't know.
Gold Dust.
So
he knows his stuff.
I've never done this with making my eyes.
Trust me,
Yeah.
I've been watching wrestling.
You've seen something similar. Okay.
Yes, Gold Dust used to.
He used to use some gold.
Yeah,
Gold paint.
and on top of that, if you don't remember, back in the movie Nacho Libre, who was Ramses, who was the champion? Don't you remember? He fought Ramses and he had the gold
Did he have a mask? Yeah, okay, yeah.
It was all gold. That was Ramses.
Yep.
And he used to pull his stuff. It was
So
great.
gold's a wrestler's color.
Yeah, it's not. It
It
shows
certainly is a rapper's color. They always got the gold chains, but wrestlers like to wear it on their face.
And you got the cheetah outfit.
Yeah, well, that's why I wore it. And a gold shirt, gold tie.
So what we're going to do right now is we're actually going to go to a highlight film of House of Payne, and then we're going to bring in some of our esteemed guests this evening. Yes. So without further ado, Mr. Bat Silva, take it away.
The House of Payne is in effect, y'all. I say the House of Payne is in effect. You know the House of Payne is in effect, y'all. And anyone that steps up is getting wrecked.
Ben, she just posted a Nightline Radio or something. Oh, your thing. You know, the thing. Yeah, see, there I am with those two ladies, and I guess you're up there.
This joke could being very impromptu right now.
Yeah.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, from House of Payne, Mr. Dre is in the house.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, Long Islander. There
Long
you go.
Islander, but you know he's a plus size dude. You know, he can move in a ring. You know, just like Big Show, Paul White, he can do it too.
Well, I got to ask a question. Seeing I've just found out your real life uncle, is Paulie from the Rocky Balboa.
Really?
Yeah, he's an uncle.
I mean, that guy, I got to meet him sometime. But
He comes to fight shows every so often.
okay, all right, that's some trippy shit in itself. But I have like an obsession with the Rocky movies. I'm not a fighter. I'm a clown.
Well, then you got to meet Joe Rossi from Rossi's gym. Yes, kettlebell. Well, no, not dumbbell gym. They Homa G, Little Bomb Javier, the former 125-pound ACC champion, beast. He's going pro, so he left. But those guys are absolute, especially Joe Rossi, absolute Rocky buff. Okay, so...
well, my quick question was, who were you rooting for, Rocky Balboa or Hulk Hogan in Rocky 3?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know I'm going to go for Hogan. Come on, Thunderlips, yo.
Wrestler,
You can't go
right?
wrong with
There you
Thunderlips,
go.
yo. Thunderlips
Gotta go
is
with the
there.
wrestler.
In the flesh, baby. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The ultimate male versus the ultimate meatball.
And his uncle hit him with the chair.
I don't sweat you, but I mean, for me, it's I grew up. I have a favorite wrestler. You know, for me, when I was young, I needed that entertainment value. And Hulk Hogan always just coming out did that for me. He did it for everybody. But without a doubt, probably the mysterious wrestler with insane athletic ability, definitely without a doubt, was Superfly Jimmy Snuka.
Superfly,
By
definitely.
far, hands down.
What about Andre the Giant?
Andre the Giant, you know, he was a big guy.
He was huge. He was a literal giant.
Yeah, he was undefeated for a while. Though. Like, you know, Hogan beat him at WrestleMania, gave him his first loss.
Yeah, but
ever.
wasn't he like past his prime and all?
Well, it wasn't really past his prime. I mean, you know.
I mean, sort of like Larry Holmes beat Muhammad Ali, but in his prime, he never could have done that. Muhammad Ali was like, he even said was past his prime.
Well,
You know, I hate to cut you off. We had some technical difficulty where we actually lost some sound. So, and part of the sound that we had lost.
But no visual.
No, don't worry. You were seeing.
Okay, I was seeing. Okay.
Sorry. Visual.
I'm a visual guy.
That's okay. You guys are meant for each other. But, you know, again, you know, a lot of our guests maybe hadn't heard, like, you know, when did you get started with wrestling? You know, who you're with.
All right.
I just want to make sure
I'll be
because
more than happy to write
Yeah,
down the
I'm
whole
very
thing. Sorry. So yeah, I've been in the business or in the game or whatever you guys want to call it for about 13 years. Fairly recently, I've been training with one Joel Maximo. He's been trained by Mike Awesome, the late Mike Awesome, and Mike Whiprack, which is Long Islanders nonetheless. Good guys from the NYWC. Joel has his other trainer, Mike Whiplash. He's also one of my trainers. Good dude. Both awesome guys. All the students that are in Ludus right now, top billing, you know, they got bright futures ahead of them. Can't really, you know, can't say names because, you know, I got to stay gimmick, you know, kayfabe. Some people I don't like, some people I do like. You know.
and FSW, I think, you know, we rounded up. That was out of Brooklyn.
Yeah, Brooklyn, New York, 133rd, 29th Street. I'm gonna try to remember the trains that go down
Now,
there.
let me ask you this: Are you tied to FSW or are you a freelance artist?
We're kind of freelancers. The House of Payne, we've been pretty much up and down the East Coast. You know, we've been to Tennessee, Florida. A few of us went to Connecticut. So, you know, we're not really tied down like that. You know, we like to work with Joel.
But FSW puts a lot of shows on.
They put a lot of shows on it. You know, the crowd and the people, the locker room is all atmosphere. It's like it is an attraction. Like you can't go wrong over there.
My question to you is: do they have anything like the Jewish Joker there?
No, they don't.
I don't think
This is conservative for me. As soon as I have like 9 colors on my face, this is one of my most conservative suits.
Well,
they can't hear you if you're not talking into the mic.
Oh, this is one of my most conservative suits. I just lost my conservative bloody red yarmulke, and sometimes I got like 9 or 10 colors on my face. So this is me on a conservative day.
Well,
use your imagination.
There's 3 guys at FSW called Certified Sexy. They all wear leopard print, just like you. You know, you might fit in.
And it is one of the things that I said. I met with you guys a couple of weeks back, and I think I brought it up to you. I said, I got a guy I think would be perfect.
Definitely. One day, you know, try to come down, you know,
I'll
address, talk to Joel, see what's up.
Oh, if you could hook me up.
I can't really promise anything.
No, all I ever...
Boss man.
It's an opportunity to meet, show what I got. I mean, they can check me out on Facebook and everything, but...
I'll pass the word.
I don't ask, just an
definitely
opportunity.
you come by, you definitely, you know, fit in.
That's all I ask.
Definitely
That's
fit
all
in.
I ask, you know.
So we're waiting on possibly 2 of your partners to show up.
Yeah, possibly.
If they
traffic is ridiculous.
Yeah, if they could get here on time, which would be awesome. You a fan of MMA at all?
I like the older stuff, like back when, you know, Tank Abbott, Ken Shamrock.
So like the Pride.
Yeah, Pride, or like when I mean like earlier, like UFC, like from 1 to like 90.
When it was truly like no holds barred.
Yeah, when it's no holds barred, everybody was just like going in fist cuff. It was like now, you
more
know,
wrestling like.
Yeah.
Somebody's going in with a karate gi, the other one's going in
mayhem.
with a singlet.
Yeah, why not? You know,
Jumping off
but
the
that's
cage.
but you can't. That's the best. Like you have a boxer going in with a wrestler, or a wrestler going in with just a MMA guy, or jiu-jitsu. Like, you know, back in the day, it was like it was an atmosphere. It's like it's
When
different.
everybody
Now,
was
you know,
just specified in one kind of like martial art, like there was just a pure boxer versus like a pure jiu-jitsu guy.
Yeah, it was like
Everybody's too well
Yeah,
rounded
now
now.
everybody's exactly. Everybody's well rounded now in MMA. And it was like if you want to break into the business, you know, you have to learn different aspects of it. Like you can't just learn one aspect. Like within professional wrestling, you know, you have 3 styles. You have strong style, you have lucha, and you have American. And actually 4.
Can you like break
European
those styles
style.
down a little bit?
Yeah, well, I definitely want to know what
Strong
lucha
styles.
is. It's like the luchador.
Well, luchador is actually what you were talking about. It's like, you know, mostly Mexican styles, like
Lucha.
a lot of head
So
scissors,
does that include, like,
a lot of
like Rey
roll-ups.
Mysterio kind
Sumo
of?
wrestling, is that in that category?
No, sumo wrestling. I
It's
wouldn't
sumo
put it
wrestling.
down. Yeah, sumo wrestling.
It's
is
just
sumo wrestling.
separate?
It's separate.
I'm amazed because those
It's
guys
like- it's
make a
like-
fortune. It's like in Japan, I heard they're like gods. If you're a good sumo.
they're definitely. It's like
I mean,
huge too. Those
yeah.
guys, but nah, like sumo wrestling in an aspect is kind of like what Roman Greco wrestling is. You know, it's its own separate entity
Right,
compared to professional wrestling. Oh, excuse me. I said lucha. You know, mostly, you know, flips, roll ups, arm drags, head drags, stuff like that. Then you have, you know, strong style, which is mostly Japanese, harder, stiffer kicks, punches, harder moves. You see guys like
Ricky Steamboat like style.
yeah, Ricky Steamboat, but I would also mention dudes like Kenta, Prince Devitt. If you wouldn't know these names, they're Hideo Isami, and yeah,
Nobody's worse than me.
yeah, and Prince Devitt. I forgot. Oh my God, Finn Balor. They're both in the NXT right now for the W. They're working for WWE.
See, I don't know any of this. See, my partner Eugene Perez at Aggressive Combat Sports,
Yeah.
he would probably know all.
Nah, he was. I'm sure. Like they're
Like
they're-
he's a genuine wrestling fan.
well, wrestling for real, like for hundreds of years, I gotta say, long before there was any money to be made in sports. I mean, there was like no money. I'm talking like centuries ago. I heard like a really good wrestlers were still considered gods. Like, I mean, children were like, if you were like a top wrestler, you were a god. You didn't make any money.
Well, that was like Roman Greco and stuff like that.
I mean, the traditional wrestler, they weren't big or anything, and they weren't like muscular like today, but they were. It was like, what I'm getting at is like people have for centuries have had like a fascination with wrestling, even if they're not wrestlers
No,
themselves.
yeah, it's like wrestling is, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, you can get the drama aspect of it and you get the physical aspect of it. Like it's
It's a
something for
combat
everybody.
sport, but it's
Something for everybody.
yeah. Well, that's what you just said, because there's like a lot of times you'll talk to people who are like, I don't know, they're very religious or whatever, and you mentioned like boxing or MMA, they say, oh, that's unholy, it's wrong. But wrestling, even though it's a combat sport, because even though it could be risky and dangerous, the intention is not necessarily to beat somebody senseless.
I don't know.
Well, it depends on the. I mean,
I don't know. Depending on how the locker room heat goes.
Oh, so let me ask you this: in your next fight, right? When are you fighting?
Actually, I got the date right here. I know.
There he goes.
The show date is June 27th. And it's called Legends Never Die, and it's a tribute show to Macho Man Randy Savage. God rest his soul.
Oh yeah!
All right, well, no.
That's a good one.
All right, now
And hold on, it's going to be located at the St. Patrick's Gymnasium on 9511 4th Avenue in Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, okay, in the BK. Now, well, actually, let me put it. I'm gonna put it on him because it was his idea. He wants to know Batman. Is it real life Batman? Are you gonna lay that motherfucker out? You're confident.
I like Batman.
No. He's watching. Well, he might be, because he cares. He's working right now, but he watches every show.
No doubt.
He might even come on the show sometime. But no, for real, the one who was on the front page.
Bat's here already.
Nah, not that Batman. This Batman. Because he's been watching me on this show, and he wanted me. But I admire confidence. See.
Definitely, if he steps out of line, I'll whip Batman's ass.
Oh, I
have no problem with that.
Batman will admire you too.
There's been a couple of times where Batman definitely did step out of line and had to whip somebody's ass.
Oh, well, he's down to I gotta tell you, Batman, he's a pretty muscular. No, for real, this guy, if you go on his Facebook page, he's kind of diesel. Without his costume and stuff, I'm not saying he could take you, but I mean, he's a reckoning force.
So, question for you. I mean, obviously, there's an element that everybody feels like, and it's not feel. I mean, listen, wrestling is multifaceted.
Yes.
Some people will look, and everyone's going to say it's fake. What is fake? Is there? Here's the thing. There's a show that must go on, regardless.
Yeah.
So when I say by the word multifaceted, one, you have to be able to interact appropriately. One, there's got to be an entertainment value.
There's a about it, but there's also a psychology about it. Like me, I'm a heel. I'm a bad guy, so I have to invest my energy and my time, not only beating the good guy up, but getting the crowd to go behind the good guy and cheer for him.
Right.
And other than that, I can't do that. Then crowd's dead, and there's no emotion invested in that wrestler or in that good guy.
Big promotions like the WWE, they have producers, they have everything.
WWE, they have a good talented team of creative staff. I can't really judge or say anything about it, but WWE, they've gone out and said that they want to go far away from the wrestling aspect of it. They're considered entertainers now. But
it's more of a soap opera aspect.
It's more of a soap opera aspect. It's just because Vince, he doesn't want to, it's new day and age, everybody's under the microscope, so to speak. So.
But then you still have people like Ric Flair, who has his group that he goes around with, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and some of the old guys, and they still do some traveling around, hitting different venues.
Independent scene, that's what it is. Right now, I want to say, yeah, WWE, that's the mainstream. Everybody wants to go. It's like baseball, you have the farm teams, everybody wants to get to the Yankees. But, it's not going to happen for a lot of people.
Right.
And also for the people that been to the game, they don't want to, walk away like Flair or, Greg the Hammer Valentine or Steamboat. There's opportunities out there. The whole indie circuit is going off right now. This right here is the future of what wrestling is. Indie wrestling. It's not WWE, not TNA, Ring of Honor. They're the shits. I love Ring of Honor. Personally, they're probably the best. You got Global Force Wrestling that's coming out. That's another, independent league. They're trying to keep wrestling, the wrestler alive, not turn it into entertainment.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Where every time you turn, because every time I turn to
leave the entertainment to the Jewish Joker.
See, people talking for 15, 20 minutes, and then something's happening backstage. And I just want to, get a little flashback of my childhood and see somebody
get some action
off
going.
the top rope.
Like, all right, when you were growing up, you grew up.
Me, I'm 48.
48.
Like I
Jabs,
saw some of I saw
Oh,
some,
yes,
you know,
Jabs.
Ultimate Warrior. You know, I would still see Hulk Hogan.
All right, but do you watch like ECW back in the day, right?
Like a few times. I know that's where Rhino came from.
Rhino, Steve Corino, just Incredible.
Yeah, RVD. Yeah, that's my man.
Like back in those days, you know, that's when wrestling was wrestling. Like, there was not that much talking. Dude just come out to the ring and just like start a match right there. And it was like there was no real like I understand storyline because you know it has to there has to be some sort of like investment for somebody to come back and watch.
Right. Sure.
But you know, just for the simple fact that it was blood, it was violence, it was freaking women half naked all the time. You know, that's what wrestling was. That's why I said, you know, personally, I like.
The second you said half naked women, he was like,
I
want to go.
I got a rise in the unmentionable hormone. I'll just use the letter T. Use your imagination. I'm trying to be kosher. I got my yarmulke on.
There you go. You know, here's the thing. Everybody said to me, like, you're going to have wrestlers on? Like, you're the East Coast MMA show. And I think that everybody and anybody who's watched the show over the last few years, I've always said, it's combat sports. And anybody who just watched a highlight of House of Payne, I don't know what you call like landing on top of one another.
It's definitely a combat sport.
That's
for damn sure. Like,
because regardless of whether or not some things are calculated or uncalculated,
no, you walk away hurt.
Listen, I'm a big guy. You're a big guy. We're probably big guys together. I land on somebody the wrong way, dude.
It's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt. But I also have to say this: even if somebody somebody like Jabs though lands on somebody, you can land on somebody just the wrong way.
Yeah, no, you can definitely work with that.
And guess what? There ain't no such thing as just be like, no, I'm done. No.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I used to work as a dancer. I mean, I've gotten serious injuries just from dancing, which is nowhere near. Even the slam dancing is nowhere near the combat sport that what you
dance. You slam dance.
What does that surprise you?
I'm just saying, man. Slam dancing is aggressive dance.
Seriously.
Well,
he's an aggressive.
I'm solid. I mean,
he's an aggressive kind of guy.
But I'm pretty solid for my age.
Listen,
anyway.
he's dressed as gold dust right now.
Yeah. But I mean, I you've gotten way more severe injuries than me.
Oh, yeah.
Does
because I remember Stone Cold saying something when he I think he was fight. It was a WrestleMania and he got slammed by Yokozuna and he shit himself. And
shit himself.
Yeah, and injuries like that happen during matches.
I wouldn't consider shitting on yourself.
I mean, something like bizarre, like where
Stone Cold, he did get his neck. He did suffer a spinal injury, which kind of shortened his career. But
well, have you ever had a very serious injury?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Did you ever have an injury during a match and you had to finish it off?
Not really during the match. Like I've gotten hurt during the match. I'm wearing contacts, so I've lost my contacts and gone blind during the match.
Yeah,
had my eye poked one time during the match. It's just you gotta knock the cobwebs off and just keep going. Fighter. It was like a boxer gets punched in the face. How many times? He's gonna. Oh no! Stop hitting me! I need to. No, you just go in.
Dre,
did you ever think? I mean, has there been where I know you love wrestling, but where it crossed your mind, you want to quit because the pain is so bad, or no?
Not really. I mean,
you love it that much.
It's not for me. People,
it's
in the name. House of Pain. We gotta endure the pain, and we gotta give it.
What's your ultimate goal?
What's my ultimate goal?
What's you and your crew's ultimate goal?
Well, my crew's ultimate goal is just to get big.
Well, my ultimate goal for your crew is to get here on time. But
I'm sorry.
Not everybody's like the Jewish Joker.
You weren't on time either.
They were booked for a show, and they're on their way. I mean, hopefully, in contact with Nick right now, and he keeps. Thanks, guys.
That's not Nick's
No, they're very punctual people. I can't discredit them for this time. They're really good people, punctual and stuff. But as far as injuries and all that nonsense, it's not really nonsense. Injuries, it happens.
Of course.
Poked in the eye. I have gone. My neck's stiffened up.
Right.
Nick actually tore his knee.
Yeah. Did he finish the match or?
He tore his ACL. ACL meniscus, and I forgot something else. He literally ripped his in half. That's how bad it was. But he couldn't finish the match, but he did actually do a speedy recovery and got back in the ring within like 5-6 months.
Wow. Well, I'm curious because I've been he saw me on a bodybuilding show. I have a fascination with bodybuilding, the sport of bodybuilding or art, whatever you want. I mean, what type of weight do you do? Like squats, deadlifts, traditional weightlifting?
Well, the times that I do usually go to the gym, I usually do like cardio. I do some light weights.
So you're not like a heavy lifter.
I'm not a heavy lifter. I'm just more, trying to actually slim down and tone up.
Oh, okay. So you're not interested in like traditional power
He's not
lifting.
interested in the bean burrito lift.
No, I know he's not a bodybuilder, but I felt like a lot of wrestlers.
We actually have a question for you, Dre, in the chat from Lady Ange, and it's from Anon 3441. I don't know who that is, but their question for you is he wants to know who would your dream match be if he could wrestle one celebrity wrestler.
One celebrity wrestler. That's pretty hard. I mean, I fought Colt Cabana. Awesome wrestler. I enjoyed it. It was an experience for myself. Like, my dream match, I would probably say either Vader, Big Van Vader, or Samoa Joe.
It's time.
I thought he was going to say Darth Vader, but anyway.
Darth Vader, no. Darth Vader would probably get me with the dark side, choke me out from a mile away and whatnot. But,
that wouldn't make for good wrestling. So, outside of wrestling, any other type of combat sports that you enjoy? Boxing, wrestling, karate, mixed martial arts?
I like karate. I've been getting into, it's the stuff that Batman actually uses. Mostly forearms, elbows, knees, and shins. I forgot what it's called.
Thai fighting? Muay Thai?
No, it's not Muay Thai. It's something with an S. It's, I think Samba, something like that.
Wait, Sambo?
No, not Samba. That's what I'm thinking is, but it's not really that. I forgot the name of it, but it's.
You look like at close quarters,
the salsa.
Nah, like the
salsa. That's a dance.
The fighting stance is something weird. Like you pretty much keep your hands above your head, and like every move that you make a block, hit with your elbow.
Like what Batman?
So they're gonna punch you with this kind of thing.
Yeah,
like that. Okay.
Have you ever considered like another sport, like a crossover, or just wrestling?
I've actually tried to dabble into it. I'm actually getting into it. My thing right now is death to the luchadors. I kind of want to say that now because something happened within the luchador community, and I kind of feel bad about it. But when I say death to the luchadors, the style that I mean, not the actual wrestlers. It's just I like the ground and pound stuff. Like that high flying nonsense. I'm 6'2", 3 pounds. I'm not gonna be doing no flips or anything.
And somersaults.
So my thing is, they get more of the. They get more of the pops. They get more of the because this is my thing is to kill all that.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
well, are there weight classes in your type of wrestling?
No.
Oh, okay. Because the whole thing.
That was one of Angie's questions. She was like, MMA fighters have certain weight cuts. What's a weight cut for a pro wrestler? I said there ain't no such thing as a weight cut for a wrestler.
Actually, if you would, there is weight classes, but if you're gonna compete for a championship, like championships, I'm not gonna obviously compete for a light heavyweight champion or cruiserweight champion.
Right.
I'm too big for it. But heavyweights. So you're not gonna see like dudes that are like maybe 120 pounds, 160 pounds with a brick in their pocket wrestling a heavyweight for a championship.
Right.
It's staged.
No, it's not staged.
Because wasn't there Jay Leno? He beat up Hulk Hogan in wrestling or. There's some talk show host.
But I mean, if it's on a talk show,
I guess
host,
it was
then
staged.
Of course
and then what was
like when it comes
Snoop Dogg did the same.
When it comes down to celebrities in the WWE, obviously the celebrity is gonna win because that's the image that's portrayed. But as far as like a regular Joe Schmo versus a WWE wrestler or anybody that's out there, it was like they're not gonna stand a chance because the wrestler's gonna obviously just beat the tar out of them. That's the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we trained for years, and even as far as training goes, like people would say, "Oh yeah, I did this, that." You never really stop training. And
Yeah. How often do you train? Like, so you can stay, you know.
I
wrestling
usually
and
try to train at least 4 times a week.
Okay.
I get into the ring at least once a week. So within that time, I'm either in the gym or just jogging around where I live. So training's not really, and it's not just also physically, it's also mentally too. Like you have to sit there, analyze different matches. You got to pick out whatever you like, what don't you like, and try to compare your matches with other wrestlers,
Right.
and try to see where you can fix yourself at, see what you can take from and
Question for you.
what's up?
You're a wrestler, FSW, New York Wrestling Connection, this and that. Have you ever thought about stepping outside of the realm of just wrestling and maybe starting to maybe do some promotions as well?
Promotions, as time goes by, my body, the older I get, the more my body's gonna soar. So it's kind of like, I kind of want to take a back seat in that. But as far as the timing goes, it's not really anytime soon. It's just, within the next 10, 15 years, I want to take a back seat. But I like competing. I like competing. I like, entertaining the fans. I like putting a smile on a kid's face.
Well, I mean,
maybe you should
kids.
maybe you should become a clown. That'll do it.
Personally,
You
I'm terrified of clowns. So
really,
yes.
you do got balls. Cause
Yeah, I'm actually just just seeing. You see my position. Is
You're
squared
scared
right
of
now.
me?
I'm not
Yeah.
scared of you. It's just
No, for real.
that's all right. Yo,
no. It was a horrible.
Yeah.
That clown from the It. Who else?
Pennywise is the man.
Pennywise is creepy, man.
I should. Oh, you look at it.
Pennywise, you got
They all float.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
Then you got other clowns that McDonald's, Ronald McDonald.
That doesn't.
Dude, I love that one on Facebook. What is it, Pennywise? And he's like this. You're not scary. And he's like, hey, I killed more people than you did.
Yeah.
meme, yeah.
No. But since I've been a clown now, a little over a year and a half. One time, a woman had to be carried literally out of a nightclub. She saw me in Webster Hall. She was shivering in a. I thought it was a joke. And later on, a bouncer came up to me and he said, "You know that woman who freaked out her friend said she had a clown phobia?" The bouncer thought it was funny, but he was like, she had to be carried out of the club. She literally couldn't walk out. She saw me.
Yeah. Listen, at an event, in Brooklyn, my partner Eugene's wife she's got got clownophobia. She's deathly frightened. And even when he walked even close, I saw she was just like, Tom, just get him away from me. Just get him away. And I was like, really? Are you that scared? And she just looked at me and she shook her head. She was like, no, I'm dead serious about that, Tom. She.
Smiles painted on. Nobody's smiling constantly. We all have frown faces. We all right.
Jabs is always smiling.
Jabs always smiles.
Yeah, right.
But it's just,
I do. Yeah.
clowns are just
They smile a lot.
They're very eerie.
Stop.
I have a funny story. I was actually in Six Flags for Fright Fest, and they have the haunted mazes and stuff like that. So they have one that's just straight hay rides and all that.
Yeah.
So I'm walking through with my friends, and the last section is just people dressed up as clowns. So I'm walking, and notice I'm by myself. All my friends are ahead of me. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, all right, what's going on? So I'm walking. Next thing I know, I see this little small, probably up to my arms. So yeah, go ahead, yeah, laugh. So she jumps out of the corner. Ah! Yo, I scream. Wow. Not scream, but I do my biggest roar at her. The girl got shit. She shitted her pants.
Wow.
I scared the clown.
She's stone cold herself.
Yeah. She pretty much scared shit out of her. And, my friends had a good laugh because they were like, yo, you took her job away from her.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is what I want to entertain you for a moment, Dre. Do we have any music at all that you could play? I'm not even going to ask you for your music. I know you like to dance to your music, but
you put on whatever you want.
But you know what I want? I want to play some music. I want the Jewish Joker to get up and dance. I have Brian Simmons, who's going to be calling into the show at 7:30. Brian's going to talk to us a little bit about June 6th and what's Grappler's Quest, so forth and so on. So I know I won't have any time. And listen, it's not an East Coast MMA show without the mascot doing at least a minute and a half to 2 minute dance skit.
But wait, you got a song picked out or
any song?
I wanted
that. You know what this is called?
What?
This is called a surprise.
Oh, you're gonna surprise me? I can improvise. All right.
Of course you can. You're the Jewish Joker. So go on. Oh, he's taking his jacket off now too.
Yeah.
Listen, it doesn't.
So much room now. I dance better when I got a lot of room.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in a music video.
Listen, they're not gonna miss you because that silk gold shirt is gonna. It's gonna be like a flash all over the place.
Are you gonna nene? I think that's one of the dances. That's what they call nene.
That is a dance.
No.
Tell me when to start dancing. I'll move the chair.
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually gonna play. That's probably where the most space is, right? Oh, you need me here.
Yeah, can you dance right there?
But I gotta improvise. There's really no room.
Listen, you can do anything. You're the Jewish Joker.
Well, I'll improvise, kind of. I can't do my Michael Jackson thing here.
Yeah, you can. You just did. There you go. You're doing it right now.
I can't do my Michael Jackson thing. Oh.
Okay.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bat Silva is going to give us a little bit of music, and we're going to get a little bit of Jewish Joker on the one. He's going to show us a couple of moves. Let it go. What is that techno music that you love?
No, you guys are disgusting. Ah! That would have scared him. And then you would have been like, and then you would have scared me. Wait, I'll show you that. Hi, everyone.
And the hop, and the jump. Yeah.
I thought you were going to do the worm. Do the worm. Hey, you're not going to do the worm. You got a wrestler on the show. You're not going to do the worm. Can you do the spin Rooney? Can you do the spin Rooney? Oh, don't dizzy yourself out. I'm telling you, certified sexy. This is your new mascot right here, yo.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the Jewish Joker, baby. That's top billing, baby. Listen, that's the East Coast MMA show. Only.
I don't see you on. Better move than I do. I can't move as fast as you can.
Well, I can't wrestle.
Cut a rug. Can't cut a rug like you.
He's a little out of breath right now, which is
I'm out of breath. I'm out of breath just watching.
Tonight after the show at 9 o'clock, anyone wants to join me, Times Square 69 in Times Square, right on 42nd Street. Tupac Shakur, the next Tupac, can rap like Tupac.
He's like,
not there
yeah,
anymore.
he's like a 7 foot Tupac Shakur.
Yeah, well, he's not that tall. He's a little taller, but he looks just like him, raps just like him. He'll be in this music video tonight. It'll be on YouTube. Times Square 69, and don't worry, I'll promote your show on their video tonight. So
that's okay.
Yeah,
that's all good.
I'm about to give you my shirt. You can wear it.
If you want me to, sure.
Well,
then what are you gonna wear?
I'm not walking around Arthur Avenue is not gonna look pretty good. I mean, it's a summer.
I should be in a suit anyway.
Now,
so are you gonna be doing those moves in the video tonight, or?
Oh yeah, no, for real. No, I'm not kidding. Tonight, I will. Here.
Oh yeah, you gotta talk.
Oh, okay. Tonight, he's a little tall, but he's a spitting image of Tupac Shakur. People think they're looking at a ghost, and he can rap like Tupac. You think he's anyway? Him, some of the other characters. We got professional breakdancers, and we invite anyone to come and join us. Right in Times Square, we film, and it's called Times Square 69. These are like the last few days, and it's interesting, but anyone's welcome. Anybody could come. I've even made some friends that way.
Nice.
Some
Now let me tell you something right now. There ain't no two ways about it. I know Rita's been watching tonight, and that was it. Right? That dance.
Is that the one terrified of clowns?
No,
Rita's
that's
my mom.
That's Mama Jabs.
Yeah, Mama.
Oh,
The second she found out Jewish joke was
And
going to be
Mrs. Jabs just texted me. She said she's watching the show too.
and is she going to call in?
No, she loves watching you dance. He just
Oh,
had
sure,
the videotape
yeah.
you dancing.
So your mother likes my dancing.
Yeah,
There-
I'm a
good.
girlfriend.
Listen, there are.
Thank her for
I don't know.
They-
You might just show up at his house one day. You know, hey, Mama
Yeah,
Jazz.
right. I don't know. I got to keep Batman around.
But listen, I from time to time I get people, I get coaches and stuff like that, and be like, yo, that dude is friggin' absolutely hilarious.
Oh, well,
But
that's good.
yeah, it's not a bad thing. Watch the Jewish Joker dance, except Times Square, but on the East Coast MMA show,
Yeah.
or at a Phil LeGrand show, or possibly at an FSW show with the Sweet Sexy Crew, or whatever. The
Certified sex.
certified sexy crew.
Certified sex.
So
Or Coney Island.
or Coney Island. Listen,
On the boardwalk. It's
that's what.
as a matter of fact, I've already announced on my Facebook page, The Jewish Joker. Anyone's welcome to send me a friend request. I'm trying to turn Coney Island into the Times Square of Brooklyn. I'm bringing other characters. I already want to come. I'm bringing the characters. Tupac's coming. So Brooklyn's gonna have its own.
Why is everybody?
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. When you
Well,
said you
man,
have your
it's too
wrestling,
expensive.
you wrestling in Brooklyn.
Well, the other thing is,
Everything's
It's
Manhattan.
popping
It's
in
either
Brooklyn.
Manhattan or Brooklyn. That's all I
Yeah.
hear
yeah,
about.
but the thing is,
Brooklyn is coming up.
problem with
man.
Times
I mean,
Square, it's so congested. And there's nothing to do. Coney Island, you got the boardwalk, the beach. There's amusement parks. They might even
you
bring
have plenty of
casinos.
this.
And you got the Jewish joke.
Yeah, you definitely get a lot of that out there.
Yes. I know. I dance with a lot of women in Coney Island because there's no place to dance in Times Square except clubs. Coney Island, all along the boardwalk.
Well,
there's people-
here's what I'll say. When you go into Midtown Manhattan,
Yes.
when you go to Times Square, they're sort of looking at, especially the people in Times Square. Listen, I call a
Yeah,
spade
go
a
ahead.
spade. A lot of the characters in Times Square, some people call them harassing and stuff like that. And you get a lot of tourists that go through there. There really are not a lot of tourists that go through Coney Island. Coney Island is a very...
It's a hideaway. It's like Orchard Beach,
Exactly.
or Coney Island, or
so
New
people are
Rochelle.
expecting to see like jokers. They're expecting to see tattooed people of different origin, and it's embraced tremendously there. Whereas in Times Square, like if you're in Coney Island and you go up and you go to take a picture with somebody and they're like, yo, what's up with a tip or something like that. And Coney Island, they're not going to look at you like,
Well, that's why I have tips on all my suits.
We're not going to get too far into tips. Because listen, you talk tips, the
That's
Joker
another
could,
story.
the Joker could go forever for tips. But in Times Square, a lot of people are tourists, and they don't understand. Some of them are from Europe, some of them and they just don't understand the whole.
all over the world.
Yeah, and they don't understand. So sometimes, you get people that'll come by and they think like, oh, have these people here and maybe they'll take a picture with me or something, and they don't understand the concept.
Well, no, I just got to say this. At least in my case, and I can certainly speak for most of the characters or nearly all of them, I make it clear with anyone that if they want a picture, I want a tip. And if they say, well, I'm not going to tip, then I say, I will not take the picture. And the only time I become insulting is if they're disrespectful to me. That's clear. But I make it clear in advance. And if there's not so much of a language thing, if they don't speak that good English, I'll point to this. Or I'll even pull money out and I'll say clearly, only thing is that I won't take a picture unless I get a tip. I mean, if it's like somebody I don't know. But,
Right.
I mean, that's not harassment. I mean...
Oh, no. I'm not saying that it's harassment. What I'm saying is that there have been complaints. And it's
Okay, but a lot of people... I can't... Maybe some characters have done wrong things. I'm not saying that. But you got to... Just because people make complaints, people lie, people twist the truth. People sometimes are bitter because they want free pictures. I've seen this numerous times.
So you're telling Dre can't get a free picture with you?
I want a free picture with him. I'm not tipping him, but I don't tip nobody.
Let's just do each other the favor.
But you owe me a picture after the show.
Only on the East Coast MMA show.
East Coast.
Gotta get the
Wait, now he owes me a picture.
Oh, like, now it's becoming a picture session.
That's
That's the new thing.
You do your thing.
Oh, I always do my thing. Oh, you don't have to tell me to do my thing. I do my thing. Don't worry.
Permission, you know.
So
on the Joker show here, but anyway, how are we gonna do this?
the Joker show.
I don't wanna
Is he calling out his own show now?
the Joker show.
Good, out of his mind.
Oh man.
Listen, there ain't nobody more out of his mind. Yeah, even Bat's like, yo, yes, certified. That's certified right there. That is certified, sexy, crazy right there.
Yeah, you gotta go down there. You need to be there June.
These
the
guys are
next
probably
event.
watching the show and like, what the fuck is this?
But you know, I'm excited. I'm excited that you came on to the show because you know what? It definitely gives a different aspect. You know, we're always talking to MMA
I
fighters.
didn't pay for that. You think I paid for pictures with anyone?
All right, yo, Joker, there's a show going on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Every so often you got to put Joker in his place a little bit. You know, it's like Batman. It's all going.
This guy put me in my place, you know.
So, you know, it's nice because I like to get diversity in here and everything. People are like, oh, well, your fight show is the next week. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? My fight show is my fight show. No, yeah. Eugene and I put our fight show together. The recipe is there. We're almost sold out of tickets. So it's going to be a sold.
There you go. You said June 6th, right?
No. We're May 30th. We're this
May
Saturday.
30th. This Saturday. Where's it at?
It's at Queens Theater, Flushing Meadows Park.
Theater, Flushing Meadows Park. What time?
It's open at 6.
Oh, yeah. Doors open at 6.
If you don't show up there at 6 p.m. on the dot, I'll personally make a list of every person that is not there, and I'll go find them, and I'll drag your ass to the doors. Flushing Meadows Park, Queens Arena?
It's Queens Theater.
Queens Theater.
Listen, did you ever see Iron Man 2?
Yeah.
Did you ever see Men in Black?
Yes.
You ever see The Wiz?
Yes.
You ever see the big pavilions in Flushing Meadow Park? We're right.
It's right over.
We're right underneath it. We're right there. Hoorah, baby!
Right there.
And listen, also
beautiful location too. Beautiful. Yeah. And they're gonna be filming the Journeyman.
Journeyman will. We'll be filming some of the action there as well. Okay. And that's another thing I want to talk about before we get. We just had Memorial Day.
Yes.
And
happy Memorial Day, Dad. He was in the Air Force.
Well,
served the country.
I always say this. You know, Memorial Day is not only for people who have served, but to me, I look at Memorial Day for the people who have served and given the ultimate sacrifice.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately,
God rest. You know, sacrifice that's been made for our freedom.
Yeah. And you know, I think that. You know, I could go on forever, but we're not a politics show. But I could go on forever, and it's just when I see people on the flag, when I see people saying that you can't say the Pledge of Allegiance inside your classroom and everything else, it's to me, it's almost like it doesn't matter. And sometimes people say, well, you don't like Obama. Let me just, I voted for Obama. Probably the worst vote I ever made in my life.
Oh, I don't want to say that.
Well, listen, it's an opinion.
Yeah, it's an opinion.
And I had a vote, and I expressed my vote, and I gave my vote. But I truly feel that over the course of the last 10 to 12 years, we have definitely pulled back our sense of pride of who we are as a country, what we do as a country. The days of Ronald Reagan are gone. I hate to say that, are gone. You know, those were guys that gave the vets everything because they deserved it.
But it's it's one of those things where now, and it's not just I kind of don't want to lean into this. But
because it's politics. I hate politics.
Yeah, it's hate politics too.
I love politics. I was at City Hall. If you can't see that, I could turn around. You know. Anyway.
Okay. Thank you.
But
I wasn't trying to show you my ass.
That's okay. I wasn't looking anyway, but it's okay.
As far as veterans, I'm sure it's horrible. Like the way they're treated. Like they're kind of like the dust being swept underneath the rug. You went, you did what you had to do. Coming back, and now, 90% of them, or about a good chunk of them can't afford to get jobs.
Right.
They can't. There should be a program for vets but also you got to worry about the veterans, the vets that are coming back disabled.
Mm-hmm. You got, I mean, really post-traumatic,
physically, like vets that lost arms, legs.
Listen, I got one of my really good friends who actually runs mymmanews.com. Eric Kowal just got done doing. He does like right around Memorial Day. He does a chartered boating trip for the Wounded Warriors, and amputees and everything that came back from war. I mean, the work that Eric Kowal does for the Wounded Warriors is absolutely phenomenal. So when I see people do things like that, I'm like, wow. But what I talk about, things that are missing right now are, Tim Tebow, absolutely crucified for dropping to a knee and saying a prayer before a game and stuff. But it's okay for everybody else, that if they want to stop in the middle of the street and start praying, that's okay, but there can't be that, if you're going to say it's right for one, you got to say it's right for all.
Right.
I think that if you live in this, this is Brian Simmons. He's calling a little bit early. Hold on 1 second. Welcome to the East Coast MMA show live on Nightline Radio. Who do we have online?
It's Brian Simmons. How are you, Tom?
The man, the myth, the legend, Brian Simmons, CEO of Grappler's Quest. Brian, you saved me because we were getting ready to get into some hardcore politics right now. And I didn't want to go there. And I'm glad that you called in. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know Brian Simmons, dear friend of mine, we go back a long time. I'm one of the directors at Grappler's Quest, proud director of Grappler's Quest. If you're a fan of grappling, if you're a fan of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I mean, this is one of the pioneers, man. This is one of the guys that started, really with some of the largest tournaments in the world. And I've said it in the past. I've said it again, and I'll say it again today. Some people have counted Brian Simmons out. I turned around and I said, Grappler's Quest ain't going anywhere. June 6th.
Yeah, I know that's right.
Exactly. Damn straight on that. June 6th, Grappler's Quest is in Edison, New Jersey. I'm sure Brian's going to feed us absolutely everything that's going on. The pro brackets, Jabari was just saying, Jabs was just saying earlier on in the show, the who's who of grappling, of jiu-jitsu, is going to be at this event. Registration just opened up. So immediately the week after Aggressive Combat Championship 11, Eugene and I will again be entrenched in,
combat.
Yes, in helping direct one of the largest grappling tournaments in the absolute world. And this is the man that's made it happen, Brian Simmons, man. Welcome to the show.
Thanks a lot for having me, guys. Thank you so much. I was excited, man. I had an interesting day today, and it was a fun day, and I had really good vibes about Grappler's Quest going forth. Absolutely. And I wanted to call you and just thank you so much for supporting us. And, like you said it, people, strange in life how sometimes people almost root for others to fail. It's quite sad in the human experience that somebody would actually want to see someone else not succeed. And that usually deals in two paths. Either they were an asshole, excuse my terminology,
Facts.
or secondly, there's a bunch of people out there that are competitors and trying to bring you down. You deal with these types of things with promoters all the time, and how we manage them and how we go through the business. I mean, anyone that knows me knows that my heart and soul into building Grappler's Quest, and probably a little too much. You get so mad, sometimes, and so happy sometimes. When you're passionately connected to something, sometimes it leaks out. I leaked out a little bit. First time in a long time that I've actually been mad. But when you work hard. More importantly, is you look towards building positive things. And people like yourself, Tom, or people that message me and like, Brian, why the hell are you posting that? Take that off, or stop picking fights. Everything's going great. Why are you causing problems? People that are really out of the industry, or just are fans, fighters, or actually are in the industry as well, that are watching it, have no idea how much goes on in the behind the scenes, and how when you're an American entrepreneur, you're all alone, And if you don't have people like yourself, Tom, I talk to Eugene often. I talk, helping team building to create unification that will ultimately crown, like for you guys, the best mixed martial arts brand that you've created as a promotion, the best promotion in New York City, hands down, aggressive combat.
Thank you.
And I love that you guys put it out there. You took a chance. You stepped the game up. You put it out there to set standards before there were and before there are. So thank you for what you do. You guys are pioneers in doing what you do, as well as the radio show. I mean, who the hell wants to talk to me? Thank you. I'm just kidding. But
well, listen. I think that's awesome. You know what? I'm excited. Grappler's Quest is back in the mix. June 6th. Tell us. Give us a quick rundown of what's happening June 6th in Edison, New Jersey.
Absolutely. It's the grand return. It's the 15th annual Grappler's Quest U.S. National Championships, comprising the Amateur National Championships for men, women, and children and teens, all ages.
15th annual.
Say that again?
15 years, that's right. Brian Simmons strong, 15 years.
Very strong.
Sorry, I didn't mean
that's just the U.S. Nationals. I mean, we've been doing events for I actually, we used to do the little shows inside gyms as early as 1995. But Grappler's Quest, to me, like, you keep things going that people believe in and that you love. You don't always follow the money, you follow your heart. And I love grappling. I've dedicated my whole entire life to it. And we're not, Grappler's Quest is here to stay, here for the long run. I wanted to call you and be able to not just, it's not just flashing a graphic on the internet that says, hey, yeah, come back to us. Like, we have set up the best team. I mean, you've been a part of that process, and just knowing that we have the absolute best team in the world working together with the greatest joint partnership to create just an amazing legacy with Grappler's Quest, well beyond anything, well beyond, it'll live on 150 years beyond the death of me. So that was my goal in life, and cause when you build something that wonderful, you want it to go on forever. It doesn't matter. It was before its time. Maybe it didn't make money. It doesn't matter. Now the sport is turning itself on. The sport is growing, in leaps and bounds. We're expecting anywhere from 600 to 800 competitors for our first show back, 2015. So I'm like elated. So the amateur nationals go on. We have up to 16 mats we'll be running for amateur competition during the day on Saturday, June 6th, right at the Raritan Center, New Jersey Expo in Edison. And it's a huge arena. And we also have a special area set up with an elevated stage for our professional grappling show, which is Grappler's Quest All-Star Pro Challenge. And that is, the prelims are going to be starting at noon in a whole separate area. It's a whole separate ticketing and for premium seating. We have some really great packages for people that are looking to come out and spend the day and night and watch the amateur and professional show. It's going to be awesome. We're going to start the pros are going to be starting at noon with the prelims because their matches can run up to 19 minutes each. I'm sure not many of them will, but just in case, we wanted to space it out timing-wise, so we finished the prelims before the live pay-per-view show at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're going to be releasing the details pretty soon at livegrappling.com and also, of course, grapplersquest.com. But I mean, the lineups, we have the 40 best, America's best grapplers. I'm getting pushed on, people asking to want to fight into the tournament to get in. It's just amazing. The turnout, the black belts, the world champions, the Pan American champions, the UFC veterans, the Bellator veterans. The list goes on and on. It's the most stacked grappling super fight card in the history of the sport. And it is going on live right in your home state. Well, not in your home state, my home state. And that's okay, right?
Jersey.
It's a bridge, bro. It's a bridge. It's a bridge.
Right over the bridge.
But right across the bridge in New Jersey on Saturday, June 6th, is going to be this tremendous amateur and professional grappling expo that we're putting together. And I'm really looking forward for everyone to come back, come out and in force. It is a pre-registration only event. It's our first time doing that. and we have launched a new registration, a system to help with the automation and basically simplicity and customer service enhancement of the event that I believe it needed. You can't really gauge how big an event's going to be when you're accepting registrations at the door. It's impossible. So for us to be more organized and to, we might take a little bit of a hit, as they would say, the first show that we're off, having no registration at the door. That's why I'm trying to help spread the word.
But I think the experience for the competitor will be. I think one of the biggest pet peeves that a lot of people have is that there are last-minute registration. Are you tired, Joe? You got a lot of dancing.
I got a lot on my mind. It's
right.
I got hours more dancing.
Clear your mind. So I always take a look, and it's one of the things that I hear not about Grappler's Quest, but just about a lot of grappling tournaments is that nobody ever knows when they're going on, and it's like, oh, they tell us we're starting at 10, and I didn't wind up competing until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And although it's not so much the promoter's issue, there was no anticipation for the windfall of registrations that came in. So I applaud you, Brian, for doing registration so that you close it beforehand. People actually know around about time that they're going to be competing, so they're not waiting around forever. And I just think that again, I applaud you for stepping up, and even if it's taking a little bit of a hit on the pocket to raise the experience for the competitor. I applaud you for that.
Thank you, man. Thank you. And we actually lowered the price of across the board as well, because listen, man, it's people are challenged. They have maybe one special event they can do a month. I know these events are expensive, so getting the actual. I wanted to get a special code out for your listeners and for your fans as well,
awesome.
Tom, and for Eugene, is for anybody listening who wants to register. To register online before next Wednesday. I believe that's June 4th, June 3rd.
You better get on by June 3rd.
It's closing at midnight. So we have, they can use a coupon code for save an extra 10% off, and it's coupon aggressive, like aggressive combat, but just the word aggressive, and they'll save an extra 10% off their registration fees. And I believe it's like one division is right now it's $89, and two divisions is $119, I think. So then add on another 10% off, so people can save a good amount of money.
It's lunch.
And
yeah. Good sandwich right there.
We have advanced championship belts for all advanced divisions, all ages. Those huge belts. We had a brand new belt made. I posted it a few weeks ago.
And they are sexy looking.
GrapplingFans.com.
And they are sexy looking belts, man. I like the new belt. I like the colors. I like everything about them. They look great.
And they're here. When you order something from overseas, I wish people in America could make them. If anyone's out there that can make a reasonable championship belt in this country, please reach out to us. But when you're awarded here, it's a huge relief. And as I said, for everybody out there who's believed in Grappler's Quest all these years and know that it's not just this event was never ours. It's actually the community's event, and it lives well beyond in people's hearts, and we're going to keep doing great things for the sport as well as getting the sponsors that the sport needs. We're going to be. I want to officially announce. No one even knows this yet. I really told you I'd give you an exclusive, and I messed up the last time. I felt terrible.
Okay.
Everybody, I screwed up. I broke an exclusive. Egomaniac, because I was excited about it, and I promised Tom I was going to be on the show to release it. So today is Tom. I'm giving my exclusive on this. This is breaking news. No one knows this yet. Grappler's Quest has taken over the U.S. Open at Disney at the Coronado Springs Resort in Orlando, Florida. We're doing a professional show on Friday, July 3rd, and then we're doing the amateur tournament at the U.S. Open, which is going to be on ESPN. I may add, Grappler's Quest is going to be one of the events they're going to be covering for ESPN at the U.S. Open. So that's our next event. We have And I didn't tell anybody yet. And there you go. I mean, thank you
Big
for the
things.
opportunity.
That's huge.
Big things right there. I mean,
Congratulations, man.
yeah, Brian, that's absolutely huge, and you know, I'm excited. I'm excited to you know, to be a part of the team. I'm excited.
You'll come? Will you promise me you'll come down to that one?
Absolutely.
It's Florida.
I want to announce something too. It's very important. Nicholas Recanati, the amazing young man who tragically passed away this year. His father and his mother have helped set up part of their memorial trust for their son to sponsor a couple of Grapplers Quest Pro, the actual Absolute division, and it's going to be forever known as in you know, the memorial, the Nicholas Recanati Memorial Absolute division with $1,000 cash prize.
Awesome.
So it's a something in the name of somebody who, when I tell you guys, like, absolutely would have been probably 125 or 135 pound champion. He was only 18 years old, and his soul just sprung straight up to heaven when he passed. But it was a very tragic thing, and I wanted to do. Nick is my jiu-jitsu instructor. He was my martial arts instructor when I was a very young man at 17 years old, and I stuck with him and stuck by him, and you know, it's the least we can do, and so I hope everybody knows that forever, you know, the Absolute division, the men's advanced Absolute, the pinnacle, whatever the pinnacle of our tournament. If we guide expert one day, it'll be the expert. It's whatever the pinnacle is of our Absolute state, Nicholas Recanati Memorial Absolute division. So I'm going to thank, if anybody is on GoFundMe and they're interested in helping, they're helping so many people with the funds they're raising for in the memoriam of their child. And really, like, it's when people are true examples under the worst cases of suffering in life, when you can't even show them something in a Bible to make it better and be like, hey, look at this happened to this guy. Or if you can, it still doesn't matter. When it happens to the person, we don't know what to do as human beings other than try to let that memory live forever. And I think this is a beautiful thing we're going to be able to do for the Recanati family. And we're proud. They don't even know. He didn't even know we were announcing. So we have Saturday, June 6th, right in Edison, New Jersey, the U.S. Nationals, and then we have the U.S. Open in Disney World, which is so cool. By the way, I mean, it's so hard to get into these venues and to get invited into it. I think it was like a Naga event for years, and you know, it was, you know, whatever, and you know, whatever. Hey, you know, the partners change sometimes. You know, you go with ones that treat you right and stick with them. Hopefully, if it works, if it's a win-win, which all partnerships should always be, they actually stick together. When it's a lose-win, sooner or later, one person, like a marriage too, right?
Well, absolutely. Well, listen, Brian, we thank you for calling in. First of all, next week, guest Chris Smith, head referee for Grapplers Quest, will be in the house. You know,
nice.
It will be Chris's second time on the show. We're excited to have him. He's quite the martial artist himself, but he's also the head referee for Grapplers Quest. We're excited to have him on. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Brian Simmons. All right. Go to grapplersquest.com right now. Register. Thank you so much for calling in, brother. Thank you for the exclusive, huge news. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, fellas. Remember about that coupon code, guys. Use aggressive to save an extra 10% off your registration fees at grapplersquest.com. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, guys, for everything.
My pleasure. Nice. Brian Simmons, ladies and gentlemen.
Talk to you soon, fellas.
Take care, Brian.
So, yeah,
big news.
Yeah, Brian Simmons in the house. You know, and here's the thing. You know, for a lot of you guys, like Jabs knows what Brian Simmons is to the jiu-jitsu community. Mm-hmm. You guys are just like, who is this guy calling in? You know, Brian Simmons is a pioneer. So when you see everybody talk about Brazilian jiu-jitsu and everything else, you heard what he said. He was running jiu-jitsu tournaments in 1995, which was just 2 short years after Royce Gracie, you know, graced the country with jiu-jitsu inside the cage. So he's been in the forefront to a lot of that. And, you know, anybody who goes, I mean, they'll always say when you have your local tournaments, you know, you have your Naga tournaments, you have your Grapplers Quest tournaments, your New York Big Apple, or whatever tournaments there are out there. You know, I'll always say that the level of competition at Grapplers Quest has always been very, very high. So if you're a brown or black belt and you win a grappler's quest,
that's speaking a lot of volumes there.
Yeah, because usually the competition that goes there is pretty
stiff.
Yeah, pretty stiff competition.
Very stiff.
What, you said like 80 people, close to 80 people sign up already, or no?
No, I think he said like 200,
800.
600.
Yeah, there's probably going to be anywhere between like 700 and 900 competitors.
Yeah.
So, good luck to all those fighters out there.
Yeah, that is a day where Eugene and we use a lot of Desitin. Because we're running up the mats consistently. It's not easy work. It's very hard work. But, one of the things that Brian, this is Brian's baby, and he realizes that, when he has directors that are running, the rings for the matches, that, there has to be first of all, there has to be somebody who knows what they're doing, one. Number two, it's got to be somebody who's customer service savvy. Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, it's really about building the best experience for the competitor, for the fan, and everything else. If you're just a douchebag to people, they're like, I'm never coming back here again. So, it's almost like, for Brian, it's like he sort of puts his trust in Eugene and I when we're directing, Grappler's Quest for him. And then, Brian, of course, is a ringleader himself. He pretty much, oversees everything. But I find it a big honor that, for, the last, number of years, both Eugene and I, Eugene for a hell of a lot longer than I have, being a director of Grappler's Quest. So it's awesome. Go there, log in. We're running on time. We have, believe it or not, the All-in-One show is back in the mix. They were on like a 3-week hiatus. I have like, Cat is in the house. I have like a 2-month hiatus from Cat, where I'm like, I'm fiending to hear a little Cat on the air, and Rudy's been off for 3 weeks. So finally, the All-in-One show is back in the mix. So if you're tuning in, I would say, listen, it's a fun show. It's called the All-in-One. You're going to hear a little bit of everything on the show, and truly, the East Coast MMA show and the All-in-One show together makes Tuesday night the #1 internet radio day night of the entire week. So, I urge you to stay tuned in.
Yeah,
and
please definitely stay tuned.
Check out.
Don't click the close button. Stay right here on That Line Radio.
There you go. And you can ask Rudy all about bowling, because he keeps on posting bowling pictures. But more importantly, ask about little Rudy, man. Little Rudy with the big smiles. Congratulations to the happy family, and I love seeing the big smiles on social media all the time. It brings a smile to my face.
Hey man, babies are cute.
So and listen, this past weekend I had a good time, man. I was out with Bat Silva. We wound up going DJ White Boy, the original White Boy, KYS from the Club Killers, and DJ MC Rob Bass. I don't know if anybody knows who MC Rob Bass is. It takes two to make a thing go right.
Okay, I remember that song.
Look at you. Joker, are you tired? You ready to go to sleep?
This guy got a music video.
I got a music video. I got to concern I'm going to be dancing much more intensely than I was before, and for like a few hours. As soon as I go back to Times Square.
So let me tell you about my extravagant. I go. Bat meets me a little late there, and I don't think we left there. I left there at like 2:30. I didn't get home until like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Whoa.
And then I had to be at East Coast United the next morning, so I had to drive all the way back up north where I live, drive all the way back down to East Coast United for like 8:30 in the morning. Bat hits me up. He's like, I didn't leave until like 5. But it was fireball shots. It was a great night. Listen, the one thing I did find out is that I appreciate going and celebrating, friends' birthday parties, but exactly, I'm too damn old for this shit.
He's never too old. He's never too old.
Oh, yeah, I'm too old. I'm way too old for it. But, you got an event. It's coming up June.
Yeah.
Let's let them know again.
Sorry, I gotta break it out. I know it's June 27th. Brooklyn, New York.
New York.
Where else?
It's St. Patrick's Gymnasium. It's 9511 4th Avenue.
9511 4th Avenue.
Bell time 8 p.m. Doors are open 7:30. They're actually going to be having a costume contest. It's once again is Legends Never Die. It's a tribute show to Macho Man Randy Savage.
Free pictures.
Well, depending on the wrestler, but we're gonna have a costume contest for the best Macho Man dressed alike. 100 prize. So come June 27th to the St. Patrick's Gymnasium. Come in your best Macho Man outfit. Walk out with $150 and watch a kick-ass show.
And who will you be taking on that night?
Right now, I'm not really sure. I'm gunning and I'm hoping I get the.
You don't give a shit. You take on anybody.
Right now, I'm gunning for the Primero Championship, which is Magma. He's the Primero Champion. It's either that or FSW Championship, which is Ian Owen, but he's pretty busy. He has a TLC match that night against Mike Werner, Indestructible Joey Tell, and Mike Virgin and Joe Talon.
Right.
And those four definitely go to war with each other. They've been having issues for like the last year.
And listen, Certified Sexy.
Certified Sexy, Gino the God, Nutri-Sex, Sasha Jenkins, right here.
Nice.
This is your new mascot, Jewish Joker.
Jewish Joker, certified sexy.
Show me your certified sexy moves, man.
Well, there's no music.
Now, you don't listen. Anybody who's certified sexy don't need music.
No music.
Oh, right.
Anybody who's certified sexy always has a beat playing in their head.
Oh, yeah, well,
There you go.
There we go. Certified Sexy.
Sexy lady.
That was for the ladies.
So, all right, and that's all
Monica
taking
via
place. Listen, before we get off air, listen, if you can't make your way down this upcoming Saturday, May 30th, to Aggressive Combat Championship 11.
Oh, yeah.
All you have to do is go to nightlineradio.com, NITELINERADIO.com.
And get your tickets online.
You can't get them on Nightline Radio, but you can watch the event on Nightline Radio for free that evening. But there is nothing like coming down to the event.
We'd rather see your face in the seats.
Exactly. And for that, you go to Aggressive Combat Sports MMA.com. Get your tickets. It's the one way to guarantee yourself a comfy seat inside the Queen's Theater at the world famous Flushing Meadow Park, home of the World's Fair. I forget what they call the big globe there. Unisphere?
Yes.
Unisphere. The largest unisphere in the country, in the world.
Yeah.
I highly urge you come. It's a beautiful park, beautiful venue, amazing fights. The Tri-State best amateur mixed martial artist by far, New York's premier mixed martial arts card. I absolutely urge everybody to come down and watch. Listen, Jabs is going to be on commentating the entire fight show. No, he's not fighting. He's
put him in the ring.
No, he don't want no part of that.
I'll go in the ring. I'll commentate.
There you go. You see.
But I gotta get this commentator stuff.
Well, now you know how to feel.
I'm pretty excited.
All of a sudden, use the comments.
I'm pretty excited to commentate. But hey, I'm always excited to put on a pair of gloves and shin pads and get dirty.
So, at the East Coast MMA show, we don't call them shout-outs. We jabs. Everybody gets an opportunity to throw their jabs out. We're going to let Jabs throw his jabs out so that everybody gets a flavor thrown. Jabs, let them rock and roll.
Yes. First of all, I want to give some jabs to my mom.
Rita.
Thanks for watching. She said you look great in the leopard. Jab to the girlfriend. Thanks for watching, babe.
She wants to be my girlfriend?
And jabs to my gym, East Coast United. They got some big fights coming up. Andrea, Christian, training hard. Jabs to my guests today, of course. Thanks for coming, guys. Tom Kilkenny, Bat Silva. Who's next?
Joker, jab away.
All right. First jabs out, of course, to Batman. He's like my advisor on this show. He's watching, I know. Jabs out, of course, to the beautiful Audrey Sebold. Check out her Facebook page. A model, she's incredible.
It's jabs, not promotion, so just jab away.
I'm sorry. Let's see. Jabs.
To Brian?
To everyone here, of course, you know, to you, and you. I'll say quick. One other. I know I'm forgetting something.
Jab out.
Tupac Shakur. He'll be in the dance video, and Joey, the guy running Times Square 69. You know, come by for a dance around 9:30 or so. We're right in Times Square, the heart of Times Square. They'll be filming, and I would like to jab out a lot more people, but I know I'm out of time, so I'm sorry if I didn't get
Jab away.
I would like to jab out. I like to jab out to the boys over at Ludus Wrestling Center, House of Payne, Certified Sexy Team Heat, my fiance Shayna Cruz. See you later, babe. Sorry, I'm not home. And my family, pretty much. That's about it. You guys, thank you for having me on the show, Tom. Thank you.
Listen,
Jab, Jewish
jabber.
And Batman, Bat over there.
listen. My jabs are very simple. My jabs go out to my Nightline family here. Big jabs out to my guest, Dre from House of Payne. Mascot, Jewish joke, of course. My co-pilot, Jabs, Jabari Fields in the house. Big jabs out to my friends at the
let's not
All-in-One
forget Angie. Let's give a big jab out.
Jab out to Angie. Jab out to all of the Aggressive Combat Championship fighters who are putting it on the line May 30th, this Saturday at Queen's Theater in world-famous Flushing Meadow Park. For tickets, go to Aggressive Combat Sports, MMA.com for your tickets. You know, and without a doubt, you know what? Yes, Lorenzo, he did say Tupac.
Yes.
How could I not?
Tupac the second, but he looks and raps just like him.
How could I forget my jabs to my beautiful wife, my son Lorenzo, my daughter Chase, and all our friends at the East Coast MMA show live every Tuesday night from 6 to 8 o'clock, only here on Nightline Radio. No other place will you hear it but here on Nightline Radio. Because if it ain't on Nightline,
It's a damn flat line.
and that's just the bottom line. Peace.